Hey, what's going on everyone? So before this video starts, I just wanted to mention that if my voice sounds a little bit off in this video, that's because I've been sick for about the last week. Luckily, I did have that attacker video pre-recorded, so it wasn't a completely empty week, but I'm pretty much back to normal now, so you should expect to see more videos coming soon. So today we got some pretty big news regarding LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed. As of today, the entire game is being transitioned to another development team. It's going to remain inside Gameloft, but it's going to go to a new, smaller team. So I've got a lot of thoughts about this, but my initial reaction is that it's definitely a negative. I've never heard of a game that was doing really well and making lots of money and really growing, dropping to a smaller team. That's just not something that happens. Obviously, that means they're fully aware that the game is not doing well. It's not getting very many downloads. It's not making a lot of money. And it's definitely struggling at the moment. And I'm sure that that's the main reason that they transitioned to this smaller team. So first of all, just the fact that the team is getting smaller is very concerning. One of LEGO Legacy's main problems is a almost complete lack of new playable content. Right now we have one PvP game mode and one PvE game mode, and no, new characters do not count as new playable content. Our current game modes are Arena and Bricko. Arena has had a lot of problems in the past and still has quite a few issues. Of course, the biggest of which is that local payouts were not added until just the last update, over a year after soft launch started, and in my opinion that should have been something that was in the game from the very beginning. Also, I think it would be nice if we could choose our own payouts as other games in this exact same genre do, but I understand if that would be pushed out further back, but at least local payouts should have been here at least a year sooner. Beyond that, there are a lot of other issues with Arena, a lot of weird bugs with the way you can lock yourself in battle and not lock yourself in battle. There's weird things that go on with sniping every single day in Arena. It's very strange. And beyond that, the actual rewards you get for actually climbing an arena and placing top 3 are not very comparable to other games, and in certain scenarios, it's almost a 50% decrease in rewards for actually placing number 1 in Arena. So Arena is not perfect, and Bricko launched with a lot of issues as well. Initially, it was a very disliked game mode, and it has improved in a lot of ways since then, but it's still not that enjoyable to play. It's kind of like Galactic War in Galaxy of Heroes, if you've ever played that. And personally, I rarely do Beyond Day 2 or Map 2 because I just don't find it fun or worth my time at all to actually play through those battles. Really, the only time I'll do those battles is to get some background footage for a video or to test some random teams like Chill or something, because there's really nowhere else in the game to test teams. Which of course is not a great thing either. So we've got 2 game modes, Bricko and Arena. Arena has been here since the very beginning of the game back in 2019, and Bricko was added in May 2020, almost 6 months ago. Since then, we have not had any more playable content added to the game. There's been a lot of paid characters added, but no new content to actually play through. No repeating playable content. Now, Raids was supposed to be that big piece of content. They initially said the Raids would be here as soon as possible in the second half of 2020. That obviously did not happen, and now Raids are officially postponed until 2021. That, of course, is a very major issue, and it just continues to show that the flow of content is way behind what it should be. We should be getting new, exciting things to play besides just Bricko in 2020. That is not really anything at all. And the reason I bring all this up is I don't believe a smaller team is going to be able to produce better content faster than a larger team would be able to. In my opinion, I don't even think the original team for LEGO Legacy was as big as it should have been. I personally have a feeling, I mean, I really don't know this for a fact, but I have a feeling that Gameloft did not give LEGO Legacy the size of a team that it really needed to thrive. And I think that's part of the reason that we see this delay in content, and also a lot of basic features like guild leaderboards and local payouts getting delayed 6-7 months or even more before they're actually added to the game. Even basic things like more tag options in the sorting filter wasn't added for, what, like 6, 7, 8 months? Like, it's insane. So this may be incorrect, but personally I always feel like LEGO Legacy has had a smaller team than it really needed, and I think downsizing to an even smaller team now is certainly not a good thing for the health of the game. Of course, transitioning to a new team can be a good thing in certain areas, but also their first impression to the community today was not that great in my personal opinion. So here's what went down in the official server today. This morning, this message was posted in the Q&A channel for some reason. This is a huge change for LEGO Legacy, and it should have just been put in the announcement channel, which is already set up to send out the message to servers that follow that channel. That's the point of an announcement channel. This is very weird that this was not put in that channel. But either way, it was posted here, and they said here that some of you may have heard about the LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed being transitioned to another team, so it's time to confirm that the rumors are true. Personally, I never heard the rumors, but alright. We are a small but mighty team, and we are thrilled to announce that we want to host our first Q&A session, not a usual live-action one this time, but more of a complex one where we can carefully collect and answer lots of your questions. Our game designer Mark will be by the mic. And about an hour later, this was posted in the community chat. We have started our Q&A session. Now you can ask your questions here, tagging the Q&A channel right there. And great to meet you. My name is Maria. I am your new community manager. So we do have a new community manager. So after that, they opened up the Q&A channel to allow people to ask their questions. And questions were being asked and no answers were being heard, so some people were asking about that, and they confirmed that, yeah, they're not doing a live Q&A, they're collecting all the questions and will share the answers on the Facebook page on November 6th and share the link with you. This is very strange to me. I'm not sure why they wouldn't just answer on Discord and Facebook, or at least Discord at a minimum. Discord is their main communication platform. There's, what, like 8,500 members here, and not nearly that many on Facebook, and I think they posted something similar over there and only got like 6 comments or something. That's what I heard. That could be incorrect, but there's definitely way more people on Discord, and I think this should be their main communication platform. I'm not sure why they're leaning towards Facebook here. Also, it says November 6th, so that's 2 days from now. Now, this is something that concerns a lot of people, because typically in the past, when games do these type of Q&As where it's not live and they choose questions, sometimes they tend to cherry pick answers and just answer questions that they want to answer and not actually answering the hard questions that the community really needs answers to. Now, if they actually do answer those questions, then great props to them, but I would be very surprised if they did, and I feel like it's going to be a very surface-level Q&A with not that many deep questions actually answered. But then again, like they said, I understand them doing this type of Q&A for their very first Q&A instead of a live version. But the really weird thing about this is just an hour later, they said, "Thank you for the great questions. All answers will be posted on our official Facebook page." Again, they say that. And then they closed the channel. So you can no longer ask questions. There was only a 1-hour time slot where you could ask questions, and then they're not even going to answer them for 2 more days. I understand an hour time slot if it's a live Q&A, because obviously the devs can't sit there for like 5 hours answering questions. But only a 1-hour notice for this Q&A, and then only a 1-hour time period for the actual questions to be submitted is very strange to me. Personally, I wasn't even awake for this, so I woke up to all of this already being completed, and I know a lot of people in other time zones also had the same exact situation, and it seems weird to have a 1-hour Q&A for answers that are not going to be given until 2 days later. Also, for some reason, there was no slow mode put on the channel, which is kind of a minor thing, but that would just prevent a lot of discussion and allow more questions to be asked. In my opinion, they should have just had the channel open for 24 or even like 12 hours with a 30-minute or 1-hour slow mode. If you aren't familiar with Discord, a slow mode basically prevents how many messages you can send per X amount of times, like 1 message per 30 minutes or something, and that just prevents discussion and allows more focus on the questions. That's how it should have been done, in my opinion, for this type of Q&A, but I mean, I'm not the developers, so they can do what they want, but it just seems very, very strange that they would do it this way. Now, this might sound like nitpicking, but I'm in like every single LEGO Legacy server that I think there is, or at least like 90% of them, and pretty much everyone is agreeing that this is very weird and something feels off here, and it's just not very well done, and it's very strange that questions are being thrown to Facebook, because their main communication platform is Discord. Anyway, beyond that, another thing that I really found weird is there hasn't been any communication at all to the content creators in the content creator program chat. So we have a chat as content creators where we can communicate with the devs and talk with them. And in the past, it's been pretty good. We've been able to ask questions and get answers, especially from like Abo and Little Wooden Boy. But now Abo has left. He left a couple weeks ago if you hadn't heard, and I believe Little Wooden Boy is just sticking around to complete this transition, and then he will probably be out as well, which is very sad to hear, because both Abo and Little Wooden Boy, you could tell they really cared about the game, and they try to listen to the community whenever possible. And again, that brings me back to my point that I think the game never really had a big enough team to start, and they wanted to implement all these things, but just didn't have the actual resources to do so. Anyhow, yeah, there has not been any communication at all to the content creators since this was announced today. We've been asking them a lot of questions and just waiting for any kind of response or any message at all, and we haven't had anything. I would at least expect to, like, hey creators, I'm blah blah blah, nice to meet you or something, or even like a don't worry, the content creator program won't be changing, everything will still be normal, it's just a new team. Nothing like that at all, and that definitely makes me wonder, like, are they aware of the content creator program? Are they going to communicate with us? I don't know. It's really weird. And so far, it's looking like communication is it going to be worse? And I mean, it is just day one, but it still seems very off. And I am really curious to see this Q&A and see what answers they actually give, if it is going to be surface level or a bit of a more deep, quote-unquote, complex, as they said, Q&A. Now, of course, I'm sure that all these new devs are awesome people, but I don't feel like they're taking over LEGO Legacy to really bring it to the next level. They are downsizing to a smaller team, and I feel like they're really just going to be there to support the game and just keep it alive, but not necessarily fuel it with more new content. Instead, I think their goal is really just to keep the game from dying with this smaller team. So to conclude, LEGO Legacy has transitioned to a smaller dev team within Gameloft, and based off of how they're communicating so far, a lot of the community is very concerned, and personally I am as well. But alright, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.